Hey guys, how are you doing? Crypto Marco here. In today's video, we're going to talk about some regulatory frameworks that have been established for cryptocurrencies in South Korea and in Germany. Both of them are very important markets for cryptocurrencies. Some changes with Ethereum and the hack of Bancor. If you appreciate the content, please leave it a thumbs up. Really helps out my channel, and basically just happy to see that the people like the videos. And if you want to win a small amount of Litecoin, just comment down below with your Litecoin address. Among everybody who's commenting, I'm giving away a small amount of Litecoin. Now, let's get started. So, crypto exchanges officially recognized as regulated banks in South Korea. What has happened? South Korean publications are reporting that the nation's government has reached a consensus deciding to recognize cryptocurrency exchanges as regulated financial businesses. This is a significant step for cryptocurrencies and will have far-reaching implications. So, one of the opinions that many experts in cryptocurrencies have, actually many experts in finances, is that one of the things that cryptocurrencies are lacking currently is there's no regulatory framework. So the problem is that there's kind of this double-edged sword with cryptocurrencies. On the one hand, people want to invest because they see great growth potential in it. On the other hand, they're not sure what to expect of the whole industry. What if the SEC bans Bitcoin? What if Trump says, we hate Bitcoin, it's banned? Basically, right now, we're in kind of a gray zone where people are not sure if cryptocurrencies will be the future. And one of the aspects that is very important long term is the regulatory framework. So how will governments and financial institutions view cryptocurrencies? And as you know, South Korea, or as you know, or maybe don't know, South Korea is a very important market for cryptocurrencies. Back in December and January, South Koreans were paying a huge premium on Bitcoin despite the difference in the currencies, and a lot of the volume actually came out of South Korea, and they're very important. Koreans love technology, love cryptocurrencies, and their money has been fueling a lot of the bull runs in the past. So if Korea has a good regulatory framework, we could see an increase in the price. So in my opinion, this is definitely some bullish news and going on. This will in turn open the floodgates for institutional investors who may very well bring with them massive amounts of capital. It will also increase cryptocurrency attractiveness to retail traders and allow digital assets to be considered an emerging asset class. So as you can see, this has been issued 6 days ago, and right now we're still waiting for a big bull run. Probably this at itself is not enough, but if other governments or financial institutions see that Korea has established a good regulatory framework and it's benefiting their country, more cryptocurrency companies are getting into the countries, they're paying taxes, then I'm sure that other countries will follow suit. Going on, German bank to offer corporate blockchain banking accounts within Europe. What could this mean? Financial institutions have historically been somewhat hesitant in working with blockchain-related ventures. If Solaris Bank is successful in its attempts to link these two sectors, it might become a thing of the past. Nonetheless, the addition of another financial institution working more closely with the cryptocurrency sector is overwhelmingly good news, as it could potentially give startups access to more capital and crucial banking services. So right now, as you may be aware, but since I'm in contact with many ICOs and many projects out there on the blockchain, I know that they have issues with banks. I know that banks are still not really sure what to make of cryptocurrencies. And now if Solaris Bank offers a solution on how to link blockchain-related ventures and classic financial sectors, then this could also be really great news for us. So going on to Ethereum, as you know, among the regulatory framework, so this is not the only thing that is stopping Bitcoin and Ethereum from becoming really big, is also that the, how do you call it again? The scaling is not really great so far. So as you know, transactions sometimes can get very, very expensive. We have seen that in the past, that the Ethereum, the gas prices have got really high. thanks to Fcoin, they clogged up the network, so it was pretty much not really suitable for a big transaction, plus sometimes they take a while. So in December and January, Bitcoin transactions were ridiculously expensive and ridiculously slow, and scaling would be a big boost in price action, in my opinion. So Bitcoin has the Lightning Network. We don't know how long it's going to take for it to be released. Ethereum has sharding and plasma. Of course, it would be great if they would release it yesterday and we would see instant Ethereum payments that are very, very, very cheap. But unfortunately, it's a very delicate problem that it requires a lot of brain power. And I must say that I'm really thankful for Vitalik Buterin and the whole Ethereum team on being so brutally honest with everybody in saying that the Ethereum sharding upgrade will probably be released in 2019, maybe even 2020. So Buterin said, there are a lot of people who are sending transactions and want those transactions to get into the blockchain. The blockchain is popular enough and people are interested enough in using it that they basically have to compete to get those transactions included into the blocks, said Buterin. So that right now is the problem, and the sharding phases 1 and 2 are expected to follow in 2020 and 2021, according to Drake. So not the Drake singer, but one of the developers has the name Drake, Justin Drake. So basically what sharding is doing is that instead of every transaction going into the blockchain, it creates so-called shards. So they're getting grouped up. And on top of that, there's also plasma. We haven't seen a lot about plasma in this article. However, the plasma solution and the sharding solution are compatible with each other. So if we see plasma and sharding on top of each other, like it's 100 times 100 faster, so it could get really, really fast for Ethereum. Going on about Ethereum, one of the problems that Ethereum has currently is that the programming language of Ethereum is highly complicated and not really similar to other programming languages. So other programming languages such as C++, Java, Python, or whatever are not used for Ethereum. The programming language for Ethereum that is being used is Solidity, completely new programming language, and it's a barrier if you want to use Ethereum. There are solutions out there for that. There are blockchains that allow Java and Python and C++ to be used, but if you want to work directly with Ethereum, you have to do Solidity. So that's a big barrier. But now a new programming language is being tested called Viper, and it's built to be similar to Python, and it's supposed to be a little bit more simple and more secure. And if you want to check it out, you can check it out on viper.online. This is how it looks. So it looks pretty unspectacular, but guys, success is a mosaic. So there are a lot of very small stones that have to get placed down until you see the final picture. But in my opinion, all of these things, regulatory framework, banks working together with blockchain projects, scaling new programming languages, each of these little things is a small step towards mainstream adoption and more people using cryptocurrencies, and in the end of the day, us being less dependent on banks, and of course going to the moon with our currencies, if that is what you're interested in. Going on, unfortunately, we have seen another hack. In my opinion, far too many hacks in the past, so it's affected Bancor. This morning, Bancor experienced a security breach. No user wallets were compromised. To complete the investigation, we have moved the maintenance and will be released to more detailed reports shortly. We'll look forward to being back online as soon as possible. This was 3 days ago, and I've stated an issue that how much? Like almost 25 million US dollars in tokens have been hacked. Right now, the app is back online, so that's cool, but nonetheless, not good news for cryptocurrencies that Bancor is getting hacked. And as you can see, it definitely affected the price. So they went from 160 million down to 104 million. Big punch below the belt for them. But at the end of the day, I think it's that Bancor will survive this long term. I mean, we have seen Verge getting hacked, and Verge is, in my opinion, a cryptocurrency that should not get hacked at all yet. They're still on the map. As a matter of fact, they got hacked twice and they're still there. So if you're holding Bancor, I think there's no reason to panic. We're going on. Now, a wholesome story for the end. Venezuelan now can feed his family because of cryptocurrency donations. So this has been going on in Reddit, and I, as a matter of fact, know by myself how hyperinflation feels like. I was a child. I can't really remember it really good, but my parents told me about the hyperinflation we have back in our country. So it's not a great thing to see that. It can create massive economical damage that could cause the country to fall behind for decades in its economy. And this is just one more proof, in my opinion, that cryptocurrencies are our future in some regard, because you can instantly help somebody on the other side of the planet without spending a ton of money on transaction fees. You just need their address and you can send them money, and they can use the money in an economy where they have hyperinflation, where money is worthless, and feed their family. So these will be the last words for today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, because among everybody who's commenting and thumbing up, I'm giving away a small amount of Litecoin. Diego Rodriguez, this is a spam comment. This is some commercials. I haven't had the time to get rid of this because I was in Nice in France for the last few days, so I'm just going to do the video, and then afterwards I'm going to take care of the spam. Bitcoin, thank you for making this important video. No problem. There you go. You have won $2.50. Thank you so much for commenting. And the next one is going to be this. That's a great sound from the wallet sending the money. And let's see who's going to be the winner. Icos, if Bitcoin did go below 5K, I'd invest big time in it. That's something I think many people are going to invest big time into Bitcoin. But there's this theory that miners need $6,000 to produce one single Bitcoin. So if the price of Bitcoin falls below $6,000, they instantly buy up all the cheap Bitcoins, and so I don't know how likely it is to see a $5,000 Bitcoin, but everything's possible, right? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Everything in this video is my personal opinion and not financial advice. Take care and see you soon. Bye bye.